The wheel.
We are the wheel. Oh yeah, I just unrigged it. I had to. Oh shoot, are we on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't do that, Yankee. You're gonna start a
I know I'm going
conspiracy.
to start a conspiracy. I wonder if anybody heard me.
I'm sure they did.
Oh boy, it's just a joke.
Someone in the chat says I gotta sell stuff I don't need anymore at the flea market
Mm,
so I can go buy more gold and silver. Sounds like a really good idea to me.
yeah, an actual flea market.
The Tudor Beast Dragon is out, and I actually don't like it as much as the Red Dragon from the original series. But that being said, I did buy at least one. Forget how many I bought. It's a
You
dragon.
get
I gotta
it,
buy him.
whether you like it or not, right? It's a
Yeah,
dragon. Oh, I'm looking at it. Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Compared to the Red Dragon, it's. But hey, I don't want to knock him, right? It's the Tudor
Mm-hmm.
Beast. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
Queen's Beast. So
He
it
looks.
it sh-
It looks. How do I say this?
it's fine.
Yeah, it's less real. It's more, like you would see in a Chinese New Year's, right? In the type of a fake dragon, and they're all under it, and they're dancing around with that. That kind of has that comedic look almost to it. Not a real
Yeah.
dragon.
I think it's the same type of dragon. It's winged. It's probably a fire
Really?
drake. Yeah, it's got legs and
But the
wings.
face looks kind of,
The face is different. It's just a
yeah,
different view. It's more trying to go for the 3D type look. I don't know,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I bought one.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm looking in the comments. They didn't hear me. Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, good. Everything's fine. We're
Everything's
all
fine.
fine
We're
here.
all good. We're all good. This is the pre-show, everyone. Thanks so much for jumping in early. We already got 218 people. What are you
Wow.
guys not watching the Olympics? Are you are you watching the Olympics?
I've seen a little bit of it. It's fine. Whatever. I mean, I saw a little bit. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I know. I like track and field. Oh, I see it. Ox 1661 says YouTube commercials suck. Missed the opening. Oh, how do I
Yeah.
turn that off? Can I kill
Oh,
that?
Tiger rewind it. He rewound it and he heard it.
Oh, Tiger. No.
He just said it in the
Oh
chat.
no, and all those exclamation points. I'm sure that's going to be on rigged 89 or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's get rid of
Uh,
that. Let's get rid of this.
how about silver? Dollar up.
How about that silver? People are going to want to talk about silver, aren't they?
Well, obviously, but I mean, it's still
Obviously.
$5 down
Silver
from the
price, I
high.
meant. Silver price, I meant. Yeah, I mean, gold hung tight. Silver is very volatile. Surprise,
Yep.
surprise.
Yep.
Not.
Gold's only $50 off of the high. One more move like that, it's back at the high.
Oh man, it could happen
So
quick.
could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. We'll
I
see.
actually didn't even look at what economic data is coming out tomorrow. I don't know if there is any, so it might not move.
We already got the unemployment. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all that stuff. So much for my cheap, low premium ASE. All right, we need to go live here. All right.
Let's do it.
Hey everyone, welcome to Silver Pros. And I'm here with my good friend, colleague, and a really great YouTuber, Silver Dragons. Hi, buddy.
Hey, what's up? Happy to be here.
Oh man, we're gonna have a good time tonight. Episode 12 of season 6. So we're just cranking here. And we've already got 289 people in the chat. So hit the like button if you wouldn't mind. If you enjoy this live stream. For you first timers, please put a 1 in the chat. I want to shout you out. We're going to, if it is your first time, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with silver, talk about markets, that type of stuff. But really the focus is to answer your questions. So most of the live stream for the next hour is going to be devoted to you. If you have a question, stick it in the Q&A section that's now working on my channel. Thank you, YouTube. Switch to that put the question in there, and we'll get to them in just a minute. James, good to see you. First timer, Angry Patriot, Draco's Dragon. Draco's Dragon, I've seen you.
Yeah, not a
Wait a
first timer.
minute. It's been a while. Iato and Jeep Driver and Damien. Boy, you guys, thanks so much. MR's lying. This is great. All right. So,
Well,
go ahead.
hold on. We didn't even mention the giveaway.
Oh, do you want me to show the giveaway?
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching live on YouTube, we're going to be doing a giveaway here at the end of the stream. Usually goes for about an hour, and it is courtesy of SD Bullion.
Our sponsor, your sponsor too, because they are so generous. Look at this. They're putting up a 2024 1-ounce silver Trump presidential medal. This is really cool.
Beautiful.
I have one right in front of me. I actually have the 5-ouncer right in front of me. That reverse, I know you don't like it, but I love it. All right, so it's a really good medal.
I think it's good. I actually like it better than the Silver Eagle.
Okay,
so
there you go.
That's the
Type
cool. 2. The Type 2.
Nice. So yeah, we're going to be giving that away in order to have a chance of winning it on the beloved, trusted, and non-rigged Wheel of Names. Just make sure you put something in the chat during this live stream. And again, you do need to be here live in order to win this. But if you want to watch this whole live stream after, that's fine too. All right, so let's get back.
I just saw a comment here in the chat. It was from CMO Connell 1. It was unique to see the silver spot fall with the stock market. I thought they were inversely related.
Inversely correlated. Not always.
Back in the day, it seemed like that they were, but nowadays, I mean, honestly, when COVID got kicked off and we saw silver drop, like, what was it, $3-4 an ounce,
right,
with the stock market, I saw that and I was like, this is weird. This is strange. And I had to kind of dig into it a bit. And then I realized people are treating silver like money. If you need money, like as far as their paper silver, right? The traders. If you need to have some extra money to cover, whatever with your trading.
Yeah. If you have a margin call or something.
Get out of whatever. Yeah. Margin calls. Yeah. Then they're going to be selling their paper silver, and then you see the price fall. So it's usually a temporary thing. It's already back up basically now to where it was. But and gold as well basically came back up to where it was. But that's kind of the thing with these paper metals. They affect the spot price, and it's something you need to be aware of. But usually it's short-lived. I mean, after COVID, gold went to an all-time high, and it's continued to gone up from there. Silver's gone up substantially. It was like $12 an ounce. It's sitting at almost 28 now since COVID. So you got to take these things with a grain of salt. But ultimately, are they inversely related? It's not the stock market. It's the dollar. When we talk about an inverse correlation, right? I mean, that's way more true from what I've seen.
Right. I think it's the dollar, but I think it's even stronger inverse correlation with real interest rates. That's inflation-adjusted interest rates. And that is what is all in the news. And that's driving both the markets, stock market and the metals markets to some degree, the expectation of rate cuts. So we're going to talk about that. In fact, the rate cuts expectation is getting kind of crazy. It really is.
Yeah. So can you first talk a little bit about sort of why everything got kicked off when we saw the panic in the market? And obviously, a lot of us were my father-in-law was like, dude, my portfolio went down. And I'm like, yeah, everyone's did. Can you talk a little bit about what kicked that off?
I think the market kickoff really was Japan and them cutting rates. They didn't telegraph it. They didn't tell anybody. And I was talking to Makaram on Monday about it on Mastering Metals on my channel, and we were like, he said that really is the thing that kicked it off, and then it started a domino effect. There was also a disappointment with the markets that they didn't cut rates. They're kind of trying to force the Fed's hands, maybe even hope to get an emergency rate cut. Give us something. We want it.
Right.
Plus, there's a lot of news that is coming out. I just read this to Little Stacks and Mrs. Yankee, and I probably can't bring it up right away. But basically, a lot of earnings reports are bad. A lot of companies are reporting terrible sales. I mean, we're talking Charmin toilet paper and Procter and Gamble and Tide detergent, as well as higher end things like Porsche and all these other companies. This is signs of turmoil in companies, potentially
Right.
recession, and then finally,
Definitely recession.
unemployment. That was also a big factor in it. So there's all this thing, and people forget employment stats.
Rigged.
One, they're rigged, unlike my wheel, and two, they're a lagging indicator. It's too
Right.
late. Once it goes bad, we're already in a recession, probably many months. So it didn't look good. It shocked people, the unemployment rate. So
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about how they sort of fudge the numbers, and I'm Paul Bald too said they fudge the numbers in the
yes,
chat here. I agree they
correct.
do.
Yep.
If you think about how they do that with inflation,
Mm.
they do it to the same degree, if not more, with the unemployment and the employment numbers. The numbers that came
Yes.
out recently, what was that today?
Yes.
Those numbers are going to get revised.
Big time.
And so there's a lot of things they don't count that they should,
Mhm.
or that they do count that they shouldn't. And it's fake news. I mean, literally, it's fake news, but the markets just ate it up. So the problem is not fixed. Things are still bad. Like as
Guess
far as recession, it's like nothing's changed on that front, right?
during the Great Recession, the global financial crisis of 2008, do you know how many months they went back and revised the numbers on to show that the recession had started earlier?
How many?
12 months. They went back a year.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
the recession started at the end of 2007, guys. Oops. Oopies.
Yeah. So probably in November they're gonna do that.
One other thing on the unemployment, and I don't want to get too wonky here, but there's this thing called U6. It's the way they used to measure unemployment up
Okay.
until the late 90s. So for, I don't know, 50 years, they measured it a certain way, and then they changed it. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if anybody's listening knows this, but the unemployment today,
Yeah.
the bad unemployment numbers, if you looked at U6 as they used to be able to calculate it or used to calculate it, today it is worse than at any point in history that they use those U6 numbers.
Wow.
It's worse now. This is the worst unemployment.
Wow.
It's
I
crazy.
believe it. I believe it. And this is a little bit of a change of topic, but
All right,
I
go
do
ahead.
want to get into this. So, because people are always asking, what should I buy? What's a good buy? And someone in the chat, Cindy Ray, commented that dealers are just raising premiums to account for the drop in price, right?
Mhm.
Can you show those silver rounds over
Oh,
at SD?
oh
Are we
yeah,
able
yeah,
to pull that
yeah,
up?
yeah. Let me bring it up.
Because this is kind of like a hidden deal that's not even like a deal.
Yeah,
This is
normally,
just their normal price.
right. Normally, I collect these docs deals, and we were scrolling through here together,
Yeah.
even before the pre-show. Oh, and I was like, "Well, the D-Day is pretty good." And we're like, "Okay."
Yeah, nothing crazy,
Nothing
right?
jumped out at me, but then we searched. We were like rounds. I just bought a tube of rounds from SD Bullion. I got them, just got them,
Right.
and I'm
Right.
like, they were I think these, but what is this?
Yeah.
1 ounce silver rounds, design our choice. So this
Yes.
up here
Yes.
was the new
Yes.
stuff, which I really don't care, but this is the old stuff, right?
Yeah, and you might get vintage even.
All right, let me
So
click it,
probably preferred by many.
dude. 28.84.
I mean, that's like basically no premium, right? I mean, that is what, $1.19 over spot, not on sale.
4.3% premium for 1 ounce silver.
Dude, and here's the thing, you only have to get 7 to get to the free shipping. So
Seven, just seven.
7 ounces. Honestly,
I
like,
want to click add to cart, but I'll do that after I got to log in and all that stuff. But really, that is a great deal.
yeah, and honestly, if you can get them cheaper at your LCS,
Go to
get them
your
at your
LCS, right?
Buy them there. Like I'm
Totally.
not joking. Go to your local coin shop.
Yep.
If you get them cheaper than that, buy them there. but I would venture to guess that many people actually can't get them cheaper than that. I know my coin shops all around me are not that low. So I don't know. I think it's a great deal.
Hey, I want to tell people before we get into the Q&A section, I want to tell people that if you have not seen the expose, for lack of a better word, I think it is an expose, a trilogy of videos on Silver Dragon's channel. You have to see these videos. He exposes something that I think is rampant in our community. This mindset that we're going to run out of silver. And I saw an article the other day, and I went to Tim's shop yesterday, and I showed him the article. I'm like, they're going to run out of silver in 2025, and he just laughed. But you dove deep on 3 videos, and I just want to shout that out, man. Those were great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, basically, we're not going to run out of silver, which is a good thing, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
because people are complaining, oh, we're not going to be able to use it as money again. There's not enough silver out there. There's billions of ounces out there. We're not going to run out. And I don't buy silver because I think the world's going to run out. I think
Yep.
that's ridiculous. It's
True.
fantasy.
Mm.
But I did do a number of videos on them, and in fact, I have an industry insider who I'm going to be bringing on probably as soon as next week. And we're going to get really into the numbers and bring you guys some data and really show what's going on. Because I think you guys, anyone who's stacking silver needs to be aware of this stuff. And you really should have the real information. So big stuff coming up.
That's it? You're not going to say who the
th-
insider
it's an industry insider.
Come
I'm sure
on.
a lot of
Break it
you
here on Silver Pro. Okay, fine.
I'm sure a lot of you will know who he is.
Okay,
It's a he. I'll say that. All right.
Oh, it's a he. Okay, yeah, that narrows it down.
It's not Andy, Jojo. No, no, no.
Okay, so one of the things that I have heard for years now was that the military is using up silver. They
Right.
claim like, oh, there's 480 ounces or 500 ounces of silver in a Tomahawk missile or a
Right.
Patriot missile. That is so not true.
Ridiculous.
That is nuts. I wish, and then it gets people all excited because, well, every time those things go off, they're going to need silver. So there's so much wrong with that. You're going to talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna
good.
I'm gonna get into the numbers on
Okay.
those as well.
Yep.
We're gonna cover a bunch of like sort of myths and fantasies about the silver industry. It's gonna be great. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be
Cool.
probably dropping sometime next week.
Awesome.
And so yeah.
Can I
lots of
show a
good
quick
stuff.
picture about usage of silver for people to
Please.
see? All right. Well, check this out. This is it's maybe 3 years old, whatever. It's from the World Silver Survey. So, by the way, you got to take what anybody says with a grain of salt, including Silver Dragons and I, right? Do your own research. Figure this
course.
stuff out, right?
Of course.
But, this was interesting, and I do think it's accurate. So, over 50% of the silver in use today is for industrial use. That's big. That's a lot versus, say, gold, right?
Yeah.
So it is an industrial metal predominantly, right? And a lot of it's, solar panels. There's a big chunk of it, they say down here. Photography. Dude, do you remember Polaroid, Kodak, Fuji? Do those ring a bell for you?
Yeah, they used a lot of silver, didn't they?
They sure did back when I was younger and used an old-fashioned camera. They really used a lot of silver. 25% of the silver used up was in photography.
And it's all gone now.
It was like, I think, 25 years ago. 25 years ago, it's changed. It changed drastically. 93 million ounces were used in the U.S., 267 million ounces globally in photographics. That was huge. And now it's gone, 2.8%. That's nuts.
And silverware too is down to 4%.
That was
used to be
big.
much, much higher.
Yep. Jewelry.
A lot of silver.
That's
went
probably
into
right. So we're looking at what? 25% roughly in what? Bullion?
stackers. Yeah.
Stackers. Yeah. So I want people to just understand that a little bit and not be taken in by people that say, it's all going to be used up and it's gone and we better get it now because of that. There's a whole host of reasons to be stacking silver. That's not one of them. By the way, in one of your videos, dude, you said that, what is it? It's like, you said old is relative. It's always 10 years more than you, right?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah,
Yeah. No, not when you get to 80. That's old.
yeah.
Trust me, that's old.
No, no,
I see it with
no.
my dad. I saw no, it
If
80.
you're 80, then 90 is old. If you're 100 years
Okay.
old, 110 is old. I
Oh,
mean, come on.
you get old when you get to 80s. I've seen it. It's a lot of
No.
people. Anyway, I'm just teasing you. All right, so let's get back. Questions? Are we ready for questions?
Yeah, I am more than ready. And everyone's saying different numbers for the Tomahawk missiles. I think
I heard between 12 and 15 from an
yeah.
insider. Somebody
I think
know.
that's probably a good estimate. 12 to 15 ounces.
Yep.
And these things cost what, like $1.5 million to make?
Right.
So, I mean, if you think about that, like they would need a lot of missiles to use. I mean, the solar panels are going to use way more than that,
Mm-hmm.
So even if it does go World War III or whatever, I really don't think the military could ramp up and use that many ounces. I think it's kind of ridiculous.
No, I heard a stat that said that they were forced to take the silver in 1968. Forced. The military didn't want it. They didn't want the stockpile. The government said, "Yep, you're taking it." Isn't that amazing? Maybe you could ask this insider if that's right. But anyway, questions. I saw one question that I want to answer right now because it's hot off the press here. When is the next Commander series going to be released? MChat63. So I texted Chase. He said, soon. Just met with Scottsdale.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So
anyone
it's
who
coming quick.
watches anyone who watches The Chosen and they hear someone say soon, it's like, yeah, we all know. Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
Okay, what
They're
does that
taking
mean?
they're taking care of a couple things for the customers, fixing
It's
a
coming.
couple minor things. So, yeah, very soon.
Yep.
Is this a good time to buy gold or wait for the big dip?
Ah, man.
Man, it's a gold question on Silver Pros. We do answer them.
Okay, there's a lot of factors, right? And I brought this up in my last video. It depends on if you're already retired, nearing retirement. Maybe you like gold more. That's fine. I have nothing against that. But
you were talking about volatility, right?
Yeah, no.
Yes,
if
I
you
remember
could
that.
stomach the volatility, let's say you're going to retire in like 10 years, like just go silver. Or, let's say you're even younger. Just go silver. I think silver is so much of a better buy right now, looking at the gold silver ratio, looking at the price compared to inflation adjusted all-time highs. It is so far behind gold. It's
stupid.
underpriced. It's on sale. It's amazing. I think silver is better right now for almost everyone.
Yeah, I talked that all-time record high. Ooh, we got an all-time record high for a blip, 2,500. It was like, oh, just for a moment last Friday. Guys, I mentioned this in my last video. Gold's all-time inflation-adjusted high is $3,200. Silver's over $140 an ounce. We're not even.
I know.
It's crazy. So volatility. Oh, that reminds me. You posted something else that was awesome on YouTube. Just a post about the VIX. The volatility.
Yes.
Want to talk about that briefly before we get back to the questions?
Yeah. So this is basically Wall Street's fear index, right? How scared are the markets? And if you look at the spikes in 2008, there was obviously a massive spike, right? And then COVID was an even higher spike.
Barely,
and then
but
the third largest was just this week, when we saw the stock market starting to crash over in Japan. It went down like 12%, the worst drop since 1987. And people were freaking out. So there's a lot of fear out there. And, honestly, fear does drive sometimes people over into the precious metal space. And we could be seeing a lot of that in the very, very near future. But if you will remember, after 2008, silver price didn't peak for 3 more years, right? After
That's
COVID,
true.
Silver price took
yes.
a number of years to reach highs. I mean, it basically took until this year to reach 32, which is the recent high. So it could still be, months or years out before we really see the metals shine. So I think if you're buying now, it's actually a good time. I think you're at a good place, especially with silver. I think we got a lot of room to go on this.
But only if you have a longer term time horizon. If you're a short term trader, that's a risk. I think there is some downside pressure here that could occur with the recession. We've seen that historically, so be careful. Keep buying it on the way down, because if you have a long-term time horizon with silver, that's going to bode well for you, in my opinion. All right.
I
So,
agree.
hey, sound is working now. Okay, Phoenix Tide, that's good. Let's see. Okay, yeah, JL, what amount would you recommend as a stacking baseline for constitutional silver?
Mm,
Minimum amount of dimes, quarters, halves. What
right.
percent? How about a percent? What would you say a percent wise?
Oh, like of your stack?
Yeah, if you take your
Oh, I
stack, what
think
percent?
I think a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. That
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Of your
Oh, that's
silver.
no fun.
Of your
We're always
silver.
yes, exactly. Of your stack. Okay,
Of
fine.
your overall stack, I would say less. I'd say
Less,
like,
yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
silver. So if you have silver, a quarter, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. If you have 1,000 ounces in silver,
Mm-hmm.
250 of those ounces, I think should be in constitutional junk silver.
Right.
That's I mean, I'm not quite there, but I'm in that sort of general ballpark. I think it's a good thing to go for if you ever need it for barter, but also I just think like right now the
Mm-hmm.
premiums are so low on it, people should probably be prioritizing it because they
Mm.
don't make it anymore. So no
Mm-hmm.
more is ever going to be produced ever again. It'll never be made again. So if the premium's low, you can get it at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
I would say go for it. Now is a really good time to be buying it.
I am checking out something for a question that is coming up here. I see Annie. Annie Erickson, what percentage of your subscribers are women?
Oh, it's pretty low.
I was just looking at mine. It's 12.7%, Annie.
12. Wow. So once I go to
Yeah.
I'm doing it on my phone. I hit
Okay, yeah.
analytics.
Yeah.
Where do I see that? Audience?
Yeah, audience. Scroll down, age and gender, right? And I
Yeah.
look at this too. I was just looking at this the other day. Do you know 3/4 of my viewers are either Gen Xers or Boomers?
Really?
I would love to know what yours is. You probably get the younger set. I'm getting the old farts, but
No,
yeah.
no, I'm about the same
Okay,
there.
good, good.
So what were you for a female? What percentage?
12.7. 12
Oh
point.
my gosh, I'm only 11.8.
Oh, that's not bad. That's close. It's
You're pulling in more
yeah.
female
Well,
viewers than me. It's probably because Tim,
no, it is.
they
It
like
is too.
Tim.
He's had too many offers. Anyway.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
goodness. And I get them. I'm supposed to play matchmaker. I don't think so. Okay. Why has silver not kept up with inflation? I think we kind of touched on that. And not
Yeah.
protect against inflation. It will eventually. I was talking about this over dinner with you could tell the dinner conversations at the Yankee household aren't that exciting, but Little Stacks and Mrs. Yankee were there. And we're talking about this inflation stuff. And I said to Little Stacks, I said, you're going to see a dollar reset in your life. You're going to see them give up on inflation completely because it's not the politically expedient thing to do. Inflation is going to take off and the dollar is going to crash and tank and eventually be gone like all fiat currencies. Maybe not in your lifetime, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not trying to depress him. He's like, yep, I agree. It's awful. $35 trillion in debt. They need to inflate it away. And the guy's totally on it. He knows it. It's a great 20-year-old kid.
And the thing is too is like let's say the dollar is getting destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
but all the other currencies are also getting
Mm.
destroyed, maybe even at a more rapid
Faster
pace
pace. Yep.
than the dollar. Like if you live in some of these other countries, it's even more important to be stacking. I mean, think about
That's
like
true.
Zimbabwe. It's
That's
like,
true.
oh man,
But
you should be stacking.
we've got the biggest debt in the world though. All they have to do is say we don't want your IOUs and the Fed's going to have to buy up all our debt and quantitative easing and everything else comes in. That's when you really see the metals shine.
Yeah. and I'm not trying to like play devil's advocate. I
No, I
agree with
get you.
you.
Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely prudent to be storing some of
Mm-hmm.
your wealth into precious metals with everything that's going on with dollar and currencies. And we know they're all going to be inflated. And I agree that eventually they're going to not care about inflation.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to let it run
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to get nasty. But to the question earlier,
Yep.
why has silver not kept up with inflation? Well, here's the thing: if it hasn't kept up, isn't that a good opportunity? Like, doesn't that mean that it's depressed or it's being held back? Like,
Of
if it
course.
ha
Yeah.
if it hasn't kept up, then it's like take advantage of it,
If you
right?
if you don't think we're going to do the right thing, if you think we're going to do the right thing, stop stacking. If you think we're going to balance our budget, live within our means, cut, cut, cut. And if you think that, suddenly they're going to find Jesus in the government and do everything right fiscally and monetarily too, right? Then yeah,
Right.
okay. But no,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. We're past the Rubicon on this. I saw another. Where was it? Oh, it was a GSR question.
Mm.
Where's the GSR headed?
Well, in the short term, that's really hard to predict. I mean, it just depends on which way the metals go. If we see gold and silver fall, I would imagine the GSR would go higher. I imagine silver would fall faster than gold,
Mm-hmm.
especially if we go into a recession. I would imagine that silver would perform worse
Mm-hmm.
and we would see it go up. It would go back in the 90s and maybe
Mm-hmm.
even hit 100 again.
Yeah, it
But
was it was like 114 or so at the height. But notice on this chart that I put up where the low was in our lifetimes.
I know, 33. I mean, will it get back there? I think we would actually need to see like people flooding into the silver space. It would need to be the mania again to get
Mm-hmm.
back there
Mm-hmm.
because when it hit 33, it was there for like a day, right? And that was the absolute peak when silver was almost at $50. So to get that low, I think we're going to need another mania. And silver would obviously need to go much higher than $50 to get back to that number with gold where it's at currently.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, we could do the math. Um, we'll just take gold and divide it by 33. See if we can do this really quick here. Divided by 33. Yeah, 73 bucks an ounce. So I think we could hit 73
Yep.
in the next few years if we hit that mania phase again. But that being said, I would tend to lean towards the ratio going sideways until
Mm-hmm.
we see silver start blowing up and then it's going to go down. So
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if we end the year with the ratio somewhere in like the mid 80s or low 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but we'll have to wait and see.
Chuck asks, how low do you expect silver to go? What to buy more as it drops? Want to buy more as it drops. Chuck, I'm glad you say as it drops, not when it drops. Because if you try to time this thing and get the bottom, you're probably going to miss it.
Yeah.
So to keep dollar cost averaging, keep buying. We just showed some people. I mean, these rounds, yeah, there you go. I'd buy some of those. At every dip, every drop, if you don't have, enough silver, if you're just getting into it, now's the time. Not waiting until it's $40, $50 an ounce, and then you go, why didn't I do it then? Just keep buying it. Build your stack. What's everyone's favorite thing to stack?
Probably silver rounds right now.
Yeah, that's my tier 2 target right now. That's what I'm focusing on. Rounds.
Yeah.
Yep. I just bought one, and I'll buy another one now that I see this deal. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to get sovereign silver, it would be the maple leaf at this point.
Maples.
Yeah.
Maples.
And then junk.
That's
Got to get the 90% silver in your stack. If
I actually
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No. I was going to ask another
Oh,
question.
okay. I was gonna say if someone was looking for a total breakdown of what you should be stacking right now, those three things you just laid out, if you went basically a third into each of those, into junk silver, maple leafs, and rounds, I think that is a really solid goal for people to try and go for something let's say you're going to put $300 into silver.
Mm.
You do $100 into each one of those things.
Mm.
I think that is perfect. That is what everyone should be stacking right now.
Can I
And
get?
maybe focus more on one if you don't have it. You know what I mean? If
I'd tweak it a bit. I'd probably do 50% rounds. Stick with the 1 ounce.
mm,
Maybe a quarter sovereign and a quarter
I like that.
constitutional.
I like that.
Whatever.
If
All right.
if you have nothing and you're starting from scratch, I like that.
Yes, that's what I meant. All right.
I like
Steven
that.
Soj says, just wondering what you recommend, silver rounds or silver bars? I'm going to be buying 10 ounces a week. Excellent.
Mm.
Just recently started stacking silver. I'm at 13 ounces now. I have more on the way. So 10 ounces a week, rounds or bars?
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Mm,
You got started.
I know, right?
You everyone's got to start somewhere. I remember it took me a while to get to 20 ounces, and I was like, yes, I was so stoked. And then I made my first YouTube video. But if I was picking between bars and rounds, I would definitely go rounds. I
Hmm.
would definitely go 1 ounce rounds, especially with a stack that young, that new. You want to have the majority of your stack in the 1 ounce. So on the off chance that you do need to sell a little bit here or there, you don't have to sell 10 ounces at a time. You can go 1 ounce at a time. That's what I would do.
John McKinney says Bix Weir claims that there is a silver shortage based on his research due to solar panels. Is he lying? Well, he might
Right.
be exaggerating.
Yeah. So
I
it
mean,
depends on how far you extrapolate out the data, right? If you
yep.
want to say there's going to be a shortage in 25 years from now, I'm okay with that. If nothing changes and
Mm.
things continue the way they're going, I'm okay with saying there's a likely chance of a shortage in 25 years. Right now, next year, the year after, no way. Absolutely no way.
I'm looking at
I
this.
would say it's impossible.
There's a lot of industrial usage for silver, and for a
Yeah.
variety of reasons. We get that. Solar panels is a significant one. EVs is, I think, a dropping one.
Mhm.
But I think solar panels. I don't believe all the hype that I'm reading about solar panels. Let me just say that.
But
Okay.
just look at the number that you're showing.
I know
105
105
million
million
ounces.
ounces. That's
But they're
significant.
but they're gonna mine 1 billion this year, Yankee.
I know. And people sometimes say, oh, wait a minute. No, the mines are having problems, right? They're not mining it. It's still in the ground. It's like a
Right.
safe of silver. And most of it's a byproduct, anyways. If this price goes up, they're going to have silver coming out of their ears, right?
Yeah. No, I think way more mines would start. If we saw silver go to $50 an ounce, think about all the mines
I know.
who are like, yeah, we're not gonna make money. It's not really
Yeah.
profitable. And then they're like, oh, big profits. Let's go. Like,
Yep.
yeah, so
Yep.
it'll all even out. They will start pulling it out of the ground. And the amount of reserves is estimated to be around 18 billion ounces. That's 18 years of mining silver at our current pace. Think
And
about that.
yeah. Benji Bops Bullion says, we know we won't run out of silver, but will we run out of economically mineable silver by 2028? That's your point, right?
Okay, economically mineable silver. So
Right.
let's say silver goes to $1 an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
It still isn't going to run out, because let's say every silver mine shuts down. Let's say they say, you know what, we're not profitable.
Mm.
We can't get it out. It's too much for the diesel, for the trucks, and everything else. Okay, that doesn't really matter, because again, most of the silver is coming from copper mines and nickel mines and gold mines. Those are all still profitable to be mining. So what are they going to do with all that silver they pull out? They're not going to put it back in the ground. They're still pulling out silver. So yeah, I don't buy the hype. There's no way. There's no way.
It is interesting though, looking at the Q&A, how many people really bristle at what you're saying, at what we're saying, especially if you really want to get, watch his videos again on his channel. They're phenomenal. But you're like the myth busters of silver, right? You really are. And I love it because you're being honest with people, straight up and straightforward. Yes, we use up silver, but a lot of it's reclaimed and recovered and reused. So
Yeah.
I'm just concerned that a lot of people are buying into hype when it comes around the supply of silver running out.
Yeah, I think a lot
Don't
of
do that.
people, they read the headlines and they think, "Oh my gosh, are we really going to run out? Like, this is a huge opportunity for me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna, 4x my money in a year when they run out of silver. It's going to be amazing."
Hmm.
I think if that's your mindset, then honestly, silver is not for you. Like, seriously, it's not a get rich quick scheme. And I think a lot of these
Mm.
sort of fear porn articles
Hmm.
are basically selling silver as if it's some crypto that's about to explode. But that's just not the case. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't stack it, but you shouldn't stack it for that reason. If you're just trying to get rich, I I'm sorry, but I don't think it's going to work out that way. I mean, we could see the price 4x in a year, but not because we run out of silver. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It would be something else.
Right. All right. So we've got a few questions in here that kind of touch on the same thing. So Dan Hodge, Yankee and Dragons, can you tell us what your cost average is for silver? No.
Oh,
No, I can't. And I'll tell you why, Dan. And this is going to make Dragons upset with me. I'm never
yeah.
selling my silver for fiat
Oh,
currency. I don't care. I don't look at it as a traditional investment. You better know I know my cost basis for my other true investments. I know exactly what they are because I trade them. I sell, I buy, whatever, right? But I don't do that with metals. That's real money for me. And to me, I just stack it when it's low and keep it. My purpose is my exit strategy. So I don't. Dragons, do you have a cost average for you?
I will say this. I've gotten silver eagles for under $17.
Yeah, me too. Me too. 16, I think, or
And I
something
was
like that.
stoked. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
stoked. But here's the thing. If you're looking at silver that way, then you're still measuring your wealth in dollars.
Amen.
You're
Absolutely.
looking at,
Yep.
okay, how many dollars have I put into this investment? How many
Right.
dollars is it worth now?
Yep.
And I think we need to break away from that. I mean, we're all grow up in that culture.
Hmm.
Every kid is taught that a dollar bill is money, and that's what everyone thinks. But once
Mm.
you're able to separate yourself and realize that you should be measuring your wealth in ounces. How many ounces of silver do I have? How many ounces of gold do I have? That's how much wealth I have. Because if the dollar implodes and goes to zero, then anything measured in dollars is erroneous. There's no reason to measure anything in dollars, right? If it doesn't exist. So
I
measure your wealth in ounces
I
because
love it.
it's real money.
Measure it in ounces. Also measure it in terms of goods and services because that's my exit strategy for silver,
Mm,
potential barter when the dollar is toast. Now, there's another one related to this. Omar M got 3,000 ounces of silver and 10 ounces of gold. Haven't stacked in 2 years. Listen to this.
whoa.
Because of the performance, would you consider to keep stacking? Again, he's thinking, like most probably, in terms of an ROI. I'm going to buy the silver and then I'm going to sell it and I'm going to make a profit. It's a classic investment for me to get. I just don't view it that way. That's why it's not, I don't only have silver and gold. I have a lot of other assets, mostly tangible, mostly commodities, mostly things I can touch, but not, I don't sell the silver thinking I'm going to make dollars. I got out of the fiat currency hegemony, that whole craziness for a reason. That
Right.
reason still exists. I don't want to go back into it with the gold and silver I have. So that's how I view it. Omar, that's good though. 3,000 ounces of silver and 10 ounces of gold. Wow.
That's really good.
Isn't it?
That's really good. I think if people can go for that, I mean that's a great
That's
goal.
awesome. That is good for you.
Yeah,
And keep buying it.
I would say actually that ratio that he
Mm,
bought at 300 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold, I would say that's actually
that's
a
a great,
really
yeah,
great ratio for right now,
way
where
to
how
go.
silver's been performing and
Yep.
gold's been performing. I think that was really smart to go heavy on the silver. I would
Mm-hmm.
encourage a lot of people, if you're wanting to get into metals, go much heavier on the silver right now while
Yes.
it's undervalued.
Right.
And then even if you want gold, even if you hate silver, I don't like silver, I don't want it, buy it anyway because you're going to be able to turn it into more gold once the ratio goes down. I honestly think We're going to see that happen this decade,
Yep.
and everyone's going to get an opportunity.
Provided the physical gold is still there. I like the
It'll be
idea of
there.
the
It'll be
ratio.
there.
Well, we'll see. But I like the idea of the 300 to 1 as well. That's actually where I'm at. I was 200 to 1 last year. I was buying more gold when it was lower. Now I'm buying more silver. So I think that's a great idea. Dragons and I argue over this all the time, so we're not going to get into it. We disagree on the whole playing the GSR in real life in the future, what that might mean. But let's say he's right. You can change that silver to gold, so it's not a bad idea in that regard.
Yeah, and I'm okay to be wrong, but even if I'm wrong, you still have the silver.
You still have the silver. Yeah, buy your silver and gold for reasons that you believe in, and don't doubt those reasons, right? Not saying you don't tweak your strategy, but you bought it for a reason. Hopefully you bought the silver for a reason. Does that still exist for you? All right, Esther Weber, what do you think about 1/10 ounce silver rounds?
Oh man,
I'm holding a tube of 1/10 ounce silver rounds in my hands right now, and I had somebody at Tim's shop ask me about them because he was selling some, and they said, "How much should I buy?" And I looked down, and somebody had bought thousands of dollars worth of these 1/10 ounce, and I'm like, I looked up at the people in line. I went, I know I wouldn't do that. And they all laughed. But he wanted, maybe that's a drop in the bucket for him, right? I don't know. But for me, I just want, from a diversification standpoint, some. Not a lot. I don't stack it heavily, but just some for versatility and barter. That's it.
Yeah, I think when it comes to any type of silver bullion product, if you have some of it, that's fine. I mean,
Right.
when it comes to the 10th ounce, you want to try and get them at a good low premium, because the problem, as most of us know, is the smaller you go, the higher the premium. So like a gram silver bar is going to have an outrageous premium, right? There's 31.1 grams in an ounce.
Right.
So then you have the 10th ounce, outrageous premium,
Yes.
usually.
Usually it is. Yep.
So
be
if you can
careful
find
with
good
that.
deals, like I found at the Sacramento Coin Show, $28 an ounce
Wow.
for hundreds of 1/10 ounce.
Wow.
That was
Do it.
insane. I picked up every single one I could.
I would wait, but I would wait. I would wait for those types of things, right? I wouldn't buy a lot of it. Be careful. Dilly asks, and I have to answer this because it's like, oh my word, it's almost like she's tossing up a volleyball and I'm ready to spike it. Dilly, do you guys barter with your silver rather than trade back for fiat?
Let's hear it, Yankee.
Yes.
We saw the videos.
Okay.
We know.
Everybody hopefully saw but those are proof of concepts,
Right.
Dragons. The answer is actually no, not yet.
Not
in
usually,
any
anyway.
significance, right? Now, obviously I have a YouTube channel. I want to show the validity here. On Wednesday, I'm heading down. I'm going to be doing some in a community that may or may not know anything about silver. And so we're going to get some reactions that are probably both positive and negative. But yes, I am going to barter, and I know a lot of people do barter it. The problem is, I'd rather use up my fiat currency right now and just stack, right? I'm just showing what you can do.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you're buying your silver to use as barter, but you don't need to use it as barter right now, if you can just pay cash for stuff and whatever, then I would say hold on to it. I mean, can you barter it? Yes.
Sure.
I've done it. Yankee's done it. A lot of us have done it. But if you're buying it to use as barter later, you're probably not hoping to barter it this week, at the Saturday market or whatever. So I would say you certainly can do it, but I wouldn't be doing it to any, like portion of my stack right now. I would just be stacking it, holding on to it, and looking to use it as barter in the future.
All right, we're at the 9/4 of a mark here. So I just want to remind people, if you want to get in on the giveaway, which is a absolutely beautiful Trump medal, you need to put something in the chat. You don't have to pound on the chat. Just put something in there every few minutes, whatever, and I will be gathering up all the names. All right, so I am right now actually gathering up names. So this is the time to get something in the chat, right? What do you, Cygnus 610, what do you think of the fractional silver bill, the silverback? I mean, it does have, wait a minute. He says in parentheses, I mean, it does have nice art.
Look, here's
It
the
does.
thing.
It does.
There's about 3 to 5 cents of silver in those.
Mm.
Okay. There's actually more than a thousandth of an ounce because they have to do it on the heavier side. Little known fact.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like with stuff like that, it's basically like a Pokemon card. It's for fun. It's collectible. People like them. The art's insane. Don't buy a ton of them. Like, please, I'm serious. Don't buy a ton of them. They're just for fun. Get one. You know.
Mm. Okay.
Uh, so that's what I would say. I would say get one if you like it. If you don't like the art, don't get any. It's not going to hurt anyone's feelings. By
Yeah,
the way, Yankee, we did get a $10 super chat here
oh,
from Blake. I just
I
wanted to
see
highlight
it.
that.
Oh,
He
there it
said,
is. Yeah.
been stacking for a few years. What's your favorite coin to stack? He likes to stack the buffaloes.
My favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the past it was the eagle. I was getting it for at or $1 over a spot in the day. I mean, it was the eagle. I loved it. But I would say now, I love the buffaloes. I do
Yeah.
love the buffaloes. Iconic
Yeah.
image. Yeah. Yep.
I'd probably go favorite that I've ever stacked. I would say eagle.
Yeah. And I
Maybe
lo-
not right now again,
No,
but
no.
yeah,
But
in the
my
past.
and I love my silver dimes for barter. Anyway,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for that, Blake. I appreciate it. I do have to shout out Tiger again. Super chat at $5 for those of you who are grateful for Yankees rigged wheel confession. Put in one in the chat. I saw the ones, Tiger. Thanks a lot. All right. I did see this. Where was it? How much could I get for my monster box of silver American Eagles?
Oh, like buyback right now?
Yeah, and I wanted to show people. I'll show people this. I'm not saying you should do it. I think the time actually was a while ago, but you can go to SD Bullion. You can actually sell your bullion back to them. They do show you the steps, and they do
They
actually
got the
give a
pricing
price
on there too?
Yeah, they do right here for 2024. And there's some caveats. It needs to be in pristine condition. They got to check
Wow,
it. All
bid
this
plus
stuff.
150.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was 2024. Random is just 30 cents.
So 27.84 plus 1.50. So 29.34 a coin. We're going to times that by 500.
Mhm.
You could sell for $14,670 right now.
Wow, nice public math.
Well, I used my phone, but yeah.
That's good.
That would be amazing if I did all that in my head.
I know,
Yeah, 14,600. Just, spitting that out.
That was your chance. You know, you are Silver Pro, so you could have really impressed.
No, people know I'm not that good.
Oh, man. Let's see. If you could buy Roosevelt dimes or Mercury dimes for the same price, which would you buy? And Jay Smith, a brand new stacker in Tim's shop, asked me that. And it's on video. You'll see it coming up next week. Should I get the Rosies or should I get the Mercs? Yankee.
I'm pretty sure you said Mercs. Yeah? No?
No.
Are you serious, dude? Oh my god!
I explained the rationale.
Look at the chat. Everyone wants the Mercs.
Okay.
Look at the chat. Look
Okay,
at the
fine.
chat.
I
Blowing up with Mercs.
Are you going to let
Can we
me
do it?
explain this?
Can we do?
Oh,
before
now
you
you
do, can
no,
you-
no, you're just trying to
No, no,
set
no,
me up.
before
You're
you do it,
trying
can you
to
do it?
tease me on this.
No,
I can
no, no,
tell.
no, no,
You
no,
are.
no.
You
Do
give me
a Q&A.
You want
Do a
no, you
Q&A.
want a poll, right?
I do want a poll. Put up a poll. Would you rather get the Mercuries or the Roosevelts? Put
Only,
it up
only after I state my case.
after you stated. Okay,
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said to him, the benefits for the Merc is that people who are in the know will look directly at it and know that it's real, especially has some wear. But the wear is the flip side of this. I want the most silver I can get for my money, and I can show you. In fact, Tim chimed in and said, oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. You should see the weight difference. I could do this. And I've done that on a video. That matters to me. I like
say
the most
something?
silver. Go ahead.
Can
Go
I say
ahead.
something?
Of course.
When you buy and sell junk constitutional silver,
Mhm.
you don't sell it by the weight, Yankee.
Not
People know this.
not-
It's by the face value. It
dragons.
doesn't matter if they're worn.
Dragons.
It's what X face value am I buying it for? That's how it's bought and sold.
Dragons.
Right?
Not dragons. Not now.
Exactly.
I don't stack this stuff for now. I stack it for when weight will matter. And I do believe it will matter. So I want the most silver in that dime. If somebody has a scale and says, I'll give you this much stuff for that, Oh, Mercs, yeah, they're worn. I'd rather have. I'm serious.
Put
That
up
is
the
a
poll,
potential.
Yankee. Put up the poll. Let's let them see.
And just so you know, I have both.
I'm sure you do.
But I'd much
Would you
rather have the
rather
Rosies.
would you
Less wear.
rather stack the Roosevelt dimes or the Mercury dimes?
I'll just
Put it up
say,
on the poll.
I'll just Roosevelt or Mercury.
I'm telling you right now, Yankee. I know this is on your channel. I know people trust you. That
It's
they
fine. They
believe
could
in you.
disagree with me.
Just watch the poll.
I understand.
I also like the Roosevelts. Okay, I do have a lot of them.
I know, right?
I do.
Weight matters to me. Not now, but it will. That's why I do it. So,
Dude, I'm just saying
that's fine.
the Mercuries are more
They're
beautiful.
both silver. I know they're beautiful,
the
but that's not a
Roosevelts
stacking
look
thing.
like a clad.
You're falling
dime.
into the beauty trap, dude. It
No,
doesn't
it's not
matter.
beauty.
They are
It's
beautiful.
how much they trust it. It's
Oh,
how much
the
they trust it.
They're going
When
to be able to trust the edge and the date. It's not a big deal. I want the most silver I can get. Those Mercs are worn, buddy. They're beautiful, but they're worn.
Poll don't lie.
Well, no, I'm not saying they're liars. It's preference. I don't mind being in the minority. Hey, as a prepper stacker, I already am in the minority. Most people are looking to flip their silver and gold. We know that. So I don't care. I'm still predominantly stacking Rosies.
someone said barbers? Question mark.
Oh, yeah, I love those.
I actually do like barbers, but all the ones I have are so slick.
They are. I know. Yeah, for the
Oh,
same
man.
logic. It's the same logic that you're saying for barbers.
I
expected 60 to 40. I really did think a 60-40 split.
I'm
there.
actually surprised. I think if you didn't do your little thing, I think.
Oh, if I didn't do my little thing,
it would have been 80-20. You pushed them over.
No, I didn't. I
can
thought
almost
about it
guarantee,
logically.
Yankee, I can almost guarantee if these 300 people that voted went into a coin shop, I would be very surprised if 39% of them actually preferred. I think they're just saying it because what you said. I think a lot of them would prefer to get the Mercuries, and maybe sure it's like beauty or more recognizable.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Silver.
And there's more collector stackers out there. I know
I
that.
think when they put their money where their mouth is, I bet most of them would prefer the Mercuries.
I think this really demonstrates for me, though, how few pure prepper stackers there really are out there like me. I really do think that, the beauty, I love them. They're actually not Mercury dimes, guys. They're Winged Liberty dimes. That's how they were originally marketed and designed, right? So they are absolutely gorgeous. And if I could pick between a pristine Mercury or a pristine Roosevelt, I'd take the Mercury, but that is not the reality when you're buying your 90% silver. So that's why, and I'm not changing it, even though the poll is clearly in your side. I'm fine with that.
You know what? I think the poll's rigged. I don't think this was an honest poll here.
No, give me a break.
No,
I'm ending this poll right now.
I'm gonna do a poll.
You're
I'm
awful.
gonna do a poll on my channel.
Okay, you do that. You're right.
Without any
without any truth. Without any truth being said. I got it. Yeah.
No bias.
All right, no, you could not tell the truth and just kind of lay it out there and see what people say. I love it.
We'll see what they say. I bet it's going to be way different than that one.
Okay, fine. Now they've learned. There's a few people that go, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I actually do agree. I want more silver in my dimes.
It was a rigged poll.
No, it's not.
I don't know how you
Speaking
did
of which, I love it that we're disagreeing because, guys, most of the time on Silver Pros, Dragons and I agree.
You know that
it's
you
always
can pick
fun
through.
not to.
You know you can pick through the Mercury dimes and just take the ones that are less worn. Did you know you could do that?
Not
Did
everywhere.
You know you
not
could weigh 'em?
everywhere.
Oh,
not everywhere. I
walk
know
out.
for
If
a
they don't
fact.
let you walk out.
I know for a fact a lot don't do that.
If you don't want the slicks, don't buy them.
I understand, but even the ones that look good are going to weigh less. I'm telling
Maybe
you, I've done
not
the
every
stats.
single one. Not every single
No,
one.
but
there
if
are
you grab
some
a
worn
bunch,
Roosevelts.
I understand that, but a lot of coin shop dealers are not going to do it, especially if you buy it online too. You're not going to pick through them. So, under normal circumstances, I'm still going with the Rosies. Oh well. That's fine. We can disagree.
Let me ask you this. Let me real quick.
Yeah.
If they weighed the same, which would you prefer?
Mercs.
There you go.
Because of that instant trust. I absolutely, but it doesn't outweigh the weight loss. That's the difference.
Yeah, you can pick through them though.
Yeah, not always. All right. So, so we've been no doubt that we got a lot of people in the chat because of that little dialogue back and forth. So if you haven't put anything in, you got 10 seconds to put something in the chat. And I'm going to draw names, and we're going to put it on the wheel of names, and we'll draw a winner because it's a really good giveaway. Thanks for all the great questions. They really were. I really appreciate that. I'm going to end the Q&A now.
This was really fun.
That was.
We do these every other week. So if you didn't get your question answered, we'll try and get it on episode 13, which
will be on your channel.
It will be on my channel. That's right. Silver Dragons.
Yeah, we go back and forth between them. One more. It's a super chat too. I want to shout out Blake again. Thank you for that super chat. And also Tiger is giving me a hard time, I'm sure, in the chat with all his super chats. What is your opinion on stacking war nickels and copper pennies? So while I get the names, you can answer that one.
Yeah, if the premium's low. So if you get the copper pennies for a penny, I'd say go for it. I mean, it takes time, but might as well. I pull them out. And then for the war nickels, you got to get them at a really, really low premium, like under spot, because the dealers buy them back like half of spot. I'm not even joking.
True.
So just know that if you're going to need to sell them to a dealer, get rid of them at some point, you're going to get destroyed on the buyback. So be careful with the war nickels. I like them. I have a bunch of them, but don't make it a primary thing.
Yeah, I was actually able to barter with war nickels.
I'm surprised.
I was too. In fact, afterwards I said, "Did you really want?" And he's like, "Well, you were right.
Just for the video."
No, just for the video. I was like, "Oh, dude, you should have been authentic. Just say no if he didn't." I know, but off camera, he's like, "I only took them because of you. I don't like war nickels." All right, let's put the names in here. There we go. All right, so we're gonna shuffle this up.
By the way, Tiger Stacker called you a chicken for not reading.
Okay,
he did drop a $50 super chat, though.
Oh, wow. Okay, Tiger. I'll read every one of your super chats. All right.
Yeah. for a couple ounces of silver.
Tiger Stacker. Super chat at $5. Dragons is right. Besides, he sides with the Rig Nation. Jeez, you're
What's
so
up,
biased.
Yankee?
You're so biased. Tiger Stacker.
Tiger knows
another
that
$5. Every vote, Mercury. I'm
actually not. I'm not like trying to brag or say whatever. I'm just saying I know that most people prefer it. I'm saying I understand.
No. I agree with you.
I'm not even saying it's like my thing. It's not my thing. It's just the objective information.
No, you're misunderstanding me. I agree with you. I think more people would take the Mercs. I'm not. Didn't you hear me say I'm not surprised by the vote? But I'm a contrarian. I love it when people disagree with me. It's fine. It just juices me up. Although I do try to learn. I disagree. I'm sticking with the Rosies.
On your own dime box, what the ratio is? I'm actually really curious. Mercs to Rosies.
I know roughly what it is.
And
2-1.
2-1 Rosies?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Tiger, because I walk the walk, dude. I'm not going to say that and not actually do it.
I'm not saying you don't. I want to count. I'm demanding a recount.
All right, let me get through Tiger and spin this stupid thing. All right, so every vote, Mercury. Don't fall prey to Yankees mind zapping. Rig Nation for life. All right, Rig Nation videos clearly show that Yankees rigged polls. Dragons drink the Starbucks when you agree with Yankee. He's just brutal. Yankee is too scared to read my super chats. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate all those super chats. That was very kind.
I actually walked past a Starbucks today. I didn't buy anything, but I did see that a Starbucks existed.
All right, let's spin this thing.
If the wheel is pasta, it's rigatoni. That's a good one.
That is. Oh, man. I hope you guys had it fun tonight on Silver Pros. We did.
Yeah, I'll bet mine's 50-50 Rosie's Mercs.
Oh, I don't know. I bet it was a lot more Rosies probably in your
No way.
ad. All right. Kason 2006. No, MChat 63. MChat 63. You won this really gorgeous Trump presidential medal. Email me at yankeestacking@gmail.com, your mailing address. Also include your phone number so that we can include that as well if they need to get in contact with you. So, all right.
Congratulations, my
Yeah.
friend.
Awesome. This was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to get into it more with you, Yankee,
All
but
right, bud.
we'll have to
No
leave it where it
problem.
is.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks everyone for watching. We really enjoyed you joining us on Silver Pros.
Stack like a